Welcome to this yoga class. My name is Natalie. I will lead you through a 45 minutes Vinyasa flow. Today the theme is the hips. We will do lots of poses, opening up your hips. All my poses are suggestions. You can always change the pose according to your own needs. This class is suited for all levels. Watch out for any comments or tips I give you that is suited for your level of yoga. Let's start. Come and sit on your mat. You can also sit on a cushion or a block. Relax your legs. Sit up nice and tall. Stretch out through the spine, through the crown of your head. Relax your shoulders, your arms, and close your eyes. Start to bring all your attention to yourself. Notice your breath. Notice how you breathe in and out through your nose. Make your breath a bit longer and deeper. Try to make your in and exhalations of equal length. Letting all thoughts or feelings about what has or has not happened yet slowly go to the background. Just focus on the now, being present, breathing. Make sure you keep breathing in and out through the nose during the whole class. And if you're familiar with Ujjayi breath, you can practice that now. You do that by tightening the back of the throat just a little bit and sucking in the air through your windpipe, creating a hissing sound. And this breath will help you warm up your body faster. And the sound is nice and meditative. It's louder than your thoughts. Now it's time to lift your pelvic floor muscles and pull in your lower abdominals. In yoga philosophy, we call them Mula and Uddiyana Bandha. They're supposed to contain the energy inside your body and also protect your lower back in some of the poses. It's a gentle squeeze, so don't tighten the muscles for, let's say, 100%, but only for about 30%. So lift your pelvic floor, pull in your lower abdominals, and keep breathing in and out through the nose. Or if you're familiar with it, you can practice Ujjayi breath. Then set an intention for yourself, something you would like to focus on during today's class. And then slowly open your eyes. If you're sitting on something, put it to the side and start to move with your breath. When you inhale, bring your arms up. And only when you start to exhale, bring them down. So follow your breath. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And place your hands on your knees and start to make gentle circles with your upper body. When you're inhaling, your chest is forward. When you're exhaling, you're gently hanging on the knees with a round back. This is to open up your lower back and your hips a little bit as well. Other side. It's okay if you want to do it slower or faster than I'm showing you. Always try and follow your own breath. And then inhale, stretch out, make yourself nice and long. And then stretch forward. Slowly come sit up and come on all fours. Hands under the shoulders, knees under your hips. Fingers widely spread. Push up from the floor, active arms. Inhale, open up your chest. Lift your tailbone and exhale. Push out your spine towards the ceiling. Gaze towards the navel. And again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. Then from the neutral spine, pretend you're a dog and wag your tail. And then from here, come in child's pose with your big toes touching, hips to heels. Stretch out through your fingers. If possible, rest your forehead on the floor. It can also dangle in the air. If your hips are not close to the heels yet, maybe it looks like this. You could also place a cushion on the inside of your knees, so it's easier to be in this pose. Now focus on your breath. Really expand your ribcage on your inhalation, feeling the ribs press into your thighs. And exhale, feel the ribcage coming back to center. One more nice, deep, big, deep breath. And then from here, come on all fours again. Tuck your toes under for downward facing dog. Hips to heels, push away from the floor through the base of your index finger and thumb. Hands are shoulder waist apart, feet hip distance apart. But first, focus on lengthening your arms and spine. Your knees can also be bent. Your heels actually don't have to touch the floor. They can be slightly above it. Now in the inhalation, lift up your heels and exhale, bring them down. Two more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to bend the knees on the inhalation and exhale, straighten the legs. And again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Then look at your hands and slowly walk towards your hands. Keep your feet hip distance apart. Then relax your head and shoulders and arms. Then sway from side to side, opening up the back side of your body. Letting all the tension go. If you bend your knees a bit more, it might be easier to bend forward or dangle. Then stop in the center, bend the knees further, hips a little bit more towards the back, and then press the feet down in the floor. Slowly roll up and stand your feet together. I'll turn towards the camera for the next part. Straighten the arms, make Charlie's Angels pistols, fingers. And then from here, squeeze the legs together, your bum together, tighten your abdominals, and then start to go to the side and back to center. So let this be an exhalation, stretching out the side of your body. And inhale, reach up. And again, exhale, feel the stretch in the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, keep pushing the hips forward so they stay above the ankles. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And back to center. Now release your arms. Then interlace your fingers behind your back if possible. Otherwise, grab your elbows. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, fold forward. You can bend your knees if you like. Now, on our inhalation, we're gonna straighten the legs and stretch out the spine forward. And then exhale, bend the knees and fold. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now we're gonna come all the way up. Press the feet down on the floor. Lift the pelvic floor. Slowly come up and release your arms and shoulders. Come stand in front of the mat for a sun salutation or your variation of it. Inhale, bring your arms up and exhale, slowly bow forward. Inhale, lift your chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale, jump or step the feet back into Chaturanga. Choose if you go down to the floor for cobra like me or do upward dog. Exhale, push your hands in the floor, tighten your core, and come up in downward dog for 5 breaths. 1, stretching out your arms and spine. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look towards your hands, jump a step forward. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Press the feet down. Stretch out through your fingertips. And exhale, bring your arms down. We do this again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look towards your hands, jump or step forward. Inhale, chest up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, pressing the feet down, lifting up. And exhale, bring your arms down. Then step your left foot behind you, right foot stays forward, and come in warrior B. I'll show you from the other side. So in warrior B, your hips open to the long side of the mat. Your rear foot can be either parallel with the short side of the mat, the outside of the foot, or it can turn in just a little bit. Shoulders above the hips, knee above the ankle. Gaze over your right fingertips. Stay here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Right hand palm faces up. Lift your chest into reverse warrior for 3 breaths. 1. Keep lifting up through the chest. 2. And 3. Back to warrior B. Now bring your right elbow on top of your right knee. If you can, your hand can also come down to the floor. Now rotate your chest up towards the ceiling. Turn your hand with it. Pinky finger almost towards the floor. 3 breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. Look down towards the floor and then straighten that right leg and come into triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. In this pose, your upper body is not here, it's above your right leg. Make sure you stack your hips on top of each other. So your right hip moves forward, left hip moves back. Your arms are making a long line. If you have a lot of tension in the neck when you look up, you can also face forward or look down. Your hand can be on your shin. You can also be here or up in the air. The hand can go on the outside of the foot, wherever is possible for you. Straight legs though. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Look towards your right foot. Bend your right knee and bring your upper body up. From here, open up both feet out to the side and see if you can rest your elbows on your knees. It might look like this for you, which is totally fine. You feel an opening in the hips, stretching the inside of your thighs. If you can go a little bit further, your elbows are pushing your knees outside, away from each other. Relax your face. And every time you exhale, release any tension you feel in the hips. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Slowly bring the legs, the hips up, legs straight. Now turn your toes forward. Hands on your hips. Now let's actually bring the hands up like this. Inhale. And exhale, bow forward and grab your ankles or your calves, wherever you can grab. Then on your inhalation, you're going to bend the knees as if you're going to sit on something that's very low. And then exhale, straighten the legs. So it might also look like this. Inhale, put your hands more up like this. And exhale, straight. So wherever you are, do 3 more. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten legs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Press the feet down in the floor. Lift your pelvic floor. Slowly come up. And exhale. Come into your warrior B on the other side. So the left toes pointing to the short side of the mat now. Make sure your shoulders are above the hips, your knee above your ankle. And your right foot either with the outside of the foot parallel with the short side of the mat or turned a little bit in. Pull in your ribs, lift your pelvic floor, 3 more breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. Lift your hand palm up and come up into reversed warrior for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Now from here come into your side angle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. Your arm all the way by your ear, so you make a long line from your right foot all the way to your right fingertips, and you open the chest, so you kind of push with your elbow against the knee, so the knee doesn't collapse inside, but it stays above the ankle, and you open the chest towards the ceiling for 3 more breaths. 1, keep your legs strong. Nice and deep breath. 2. And 3. Look towards the left foot. Come up, straighten the legs. And then come into your triangle pose with your hand somewhere on top of your leg or foot or on the outside of the foot. Hips stacked on top of each other, so right hip back, left hip forward. Make a long line of your arms and stay here for 3 more breaths. 1. 2. And 3. Look towards your foot, bend your left knee. Come through warrior B into both feet together in front of your mat. Now from here, we are going to step the left foot back and come into a high lunge. No, actually, let's put the left heel on the floor. We're going to interlace our fingers behind our back, if possible. Otherwise, you can grab your elbows. On your inhalation, lift your chest. And when you exhale, bend forward as far as you can. Maybe the crown of your head can face the floor. Maybe your arms are getting away from your back and your wrists can point towards the ceiling already or in front of you. Remember, it's not a competition. You are where you are. Just focus on your breath. And every time you exhale, release a bit more of the tension in the areas where you feel the most stretch. 2 more breaths. 1. And 2. Inhale, slowly come up. Release your arms, one shoulder roll. And change legs. Left foot forward, right foot steps back. Left knee bends, hips are facing forward in this position, warrior A position. Fingers interlaced or grab your elbows. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, bow forward for 3 breaths. 1. 2. And 3. Press the feet down, lift your pelvic floor, slowly come up. Shoulder roll. And step your feet together in front of the mat. Now we'll do a balancing pose. I'm gonna do an easy one and an option that's a bit more advanced, but still doable if you're a beginner. Let's start with the easy one, Vinyasa tree pose. I'll be your mirror image. Bring your right knee up and place the foot on the inside of your leg. It can be with the toes on the floor, it can be here, 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 wherever is possible for you. If the foot is above the knee, then the foot and leg can press into each other equally. Shoulders low. Now stretch out in opposite directions. So stretching out through the foot on the floor and lifting up through the crown of your head. For 2 more breaths. 1. And 2. Now, this leg is gonna come back to the front and you have 2 options. The easy option is this. You hold on to the knee and the other hand is on your hip. And instead of flexing the foot, you only flex the toes. So you don't point the toes, so you flex the toes. Now the other option is quite advanced. In that case, you're gonna go down, bring your right arm underneath with your hand palm facing up again. Grab that leg and then very slowly transfer your weight on your left foot. Slowly stand up. And if this is easy for you, you can do it with a straight leg. So your choice, wherever you are. 1 more deep breath here. And then exhale. knee forward and foot to the floor. Other side. Left knee comes up. Leg opens to the side. Oops. And place the foot on the inside of the leg. As high or low as you want or is possible. 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, bring the knee forward and choose your option. Either holding onto the knee like this or going underneath the leg. Gently transferring your weight on your right leg. Standing up. You can either stand up here or with the leg straight for 2 more breaths. 1. And 2. Bring your knee forward, step the feet together, and give yourself a pat on the shoulder. Well done. We're going to continue with seated poses from a Vinyasa, from in front of your mat. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, slowly bow forward. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now in this downward dog, we're going to step the feet forward and together. Then you're going to lift your right leg up, bend the knee and open the hips. So turn the right knee towards the ceiling. Your upper body also rotates with it. So you're still having the downward dog, pushing through the hands. And hopefully your left heel is on the floor. You can also bend the knee so you have a firm foundation there. Feel the stretch in the hip flexor, so the front of the right hip. Keep pointing that knee to the ceiling. And then on your next exhalation, bring that right knee behind your right wrist. And close that knee like this. And then walk that left foot a little bit forward so there's room for the left hip. Now make sure both hips are on the same height. So you don't want to roll to the left or the right in this pose. Sometimes you want to put a block under the right hip so the hips are on the same level. If you don't need it, you can do it without the block. And see, can you already come with your elbows on the floor, or are the elbows a little bit bent, or are your arms straight? Find your way into this pose, pigeon pose. And the stretch is in the IT band, so from the knee here over your hip, you would like to feel the stretch somewhere there. You might have to balance the hips a bit to get the stretch in that area. And then every exhalation, release some of the tension for 2 more breaths. 1. And 2. Then bring the hands back below your shoulders. And gently bring the left leg all the way forward, if you can, on the outside of the right knee. If that's not possible, it can be in front as well. Now you have 3 options. You can bring your arm around the leg. If possible, your elbow can be on the outside of the knee. Or if possible, you can bring your arm inside of the leg and grab it behind you. I'll show option 2 for now. Inhale, both hips on the floor, lengthen through the crown of your head. And exhale, rotate, look over your left shoulder for 3 breaths. 1. So the hips don't move, you rotate from the navel upwards. 2. And 3. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, come back into your downward dog. And then like we did before, a little bit smaller, so stepping the feet forward, stepping the feet together, maybe with the knees bent, and then your left leg up, bend, and then bring that left knee towards the ceiling, Making sure you push away from the floor through the hands, your right heel is on the floor, and your gaze is underneath your armpit to the ceiling. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Left knee behind left wrist. Close the knee. Walk the left foot a little bit forward and find your way into this pose. Keep your hips square. 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Slowly come up, hands under the shoulders, and bring your right leg all the way to the front. And if possible, on the outside of the knee, otherwise place it in front of you. Choose your option. Left arm can be around your leg, elbow on the outside, or the arm goes through and you grab it behind you. Hips don't move, both sitting most on the floor. Lengthen through the crown of your head and then slowly rotate. So the vertebrae from the navel upwards, they start to turn, mostly in the chest area. Look over your right shoulder. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, come out of the pose. The next pose is called the frog pose because our legs are going to be like frog legs. I'll show you from the side. I think that's easiest. The knees are going to go wider than your mat. And like I said, you have frog legs, so the toes are pointed to the side. And then the idea is that your hips are in line with the knees. So if it's too intense, you can bring the hips a little bit more towards the heels like this. That's less intense. But I would like to ask you if you can make it in the same line as your knees, your hips. Now over time, maybe you can even lie down on the floor if you can do the box splits. But in the beginning, it's quite tough, this pose. Maybe you're here. So whenever you exhale, release any of the tension you feel on the inside of your thighs for 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Then point your toes towards each other. Then bring the hips towards the heels. Come sit up and then gently bring your legs together to come out of this pose. Then from here, straighten your legs for Purvottanasana, which is a chest and shoulder opener. You have 3 options. The first one is only opening the chest like this for when you cannot put too much weight on your wrists. The second option is making a table with your knees above the ankles. And you can either drop your head behind you or keep your chin on chest. The third option, more advanced, is with the straight legs. So choose your option. I'll show option 3 today. And we stay there for 3 more breaths. 1, keep lifting those hips. 2, and 3. Exhale, bring the hips down. Now cross your ankles and lift yourself off the floor. And then lie down for a back bend. If this is your first time doing a back bend, please make sure to sit up and look at my example before you follow, because it's important in these poses that you look up and that your neck is free from the ground, so you can put a whole hand underneath your neck. Your vertebrae in the neck there is not touching the floor, it's in the air. Now from here, arms by your side, your fingers are close to the heels, and then inhale, lift the hips and walk the shoulders a bit closer Either keep the hand palms flat on the floor, pressing the whole arms down in the floor, or interlacing your fingers, walking the shoulders even closer. And stay here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Release the hands, slowly roll down. Let's stay here for 1 breath and choose if you would like to do the same or if you want to go a level further. A level further is with the hands on the floor, fingers pointing towards the heels, elbows close together, so shoulder width apart or even closer. And then you start the same, the hips go up first, and then you push your hands so firmly into the ground that you can come on top of your head, but there's not so much weight from the head on the floor. The hands are really pushing down, elbows above the wrists. Maybe you can straighten out your arms for 3 breaths here, or with head on the floor, but then not so much of the weight on the head. 2, and 3, shoulders on the floor, roll down, knees to chest, roll the knees from left to right, and slowly start to roll up and down. If it hurts your spine, you can roll on the sides of your spine. And then when you're sitting up, stretch out the legs in front of you for Paschimottanasana. Feet flexed, big toes touching. And there's a couple of options here. You might want to do it here with your hands behind you, stretching out your spine. Feeling the stretch on the back side of your body. And if your hips can rotate with you, so don't do like this with a round back, but rotate in the hips, turn the pelvis. Then you can slide your hands forward. Maybe you can reach behind your foot, or the hands are on the floor, wherever you are. 3 more breaths. 1, so keep stretching out the spine. Push your sitting bones into the floor behind you and reach through the crown of your head. 2, and 3. Inhale, sit up. And then we go towards the end of the class. Just checking time there. Always go so fast when we do yoga. Now find a comfortable way for you to do Shavasana, the deep relaxation. The default is lying down like I'm doing. If you're not comfortable with lying down, you could do it sitting up. And also, if you're not comfortable with closing your eyes, you can keep them open. You can pick a point and stare into the distance towards it. Otherwise, close your eyes, lie down, straighten the legs. Your feet are hip distance apart, your knees and toes rolling to the sides. Your arms are away from the body, hand palms facing up. Then lift your chest just a centimeter so your shoulder blades come off the floor. Bring them closer together and lie down fully on your shoulder blades. Then roll your head from one side to the other. Back to center, chin on chest. And relax your head on the floor so your neck and shoulders are relaxed as well. Then start to relax your face. Let's make it small, so tightening the lips and eyes together. And then with your eyes closed, opening your face, eyebrows up, open your ears, open your mouth, and relax. Your tongue is in the back of the throat. Your mouth can be half open or closed. Relax your nose, your nostrils. Relax your cheeks and ears. Relax your eyes and eyelids. Relax your eyebrows, your forehead. Relax all the skin on your head. Now the body is fully relaxed. Let the body take over the breath. And make sure you have transitioned yourself from doing into being. At this moment, you just want to be. And it's easy if you become an observer, observing the breath, noticing the mind. And keep practicing being mindful, staying present in the now. And whenever you notice that the mind is wandering, you only have to bring your attention back to the now, starting with your breath and continuing with noticing where the mind is. I'll let you continue practicing mindfulness for another minute, and then my voice will return. Only when your consciousness is totally focused on the moment you are in, can you receive whatever gift, lesson, or delight that moment has to offer. Whenever we allow ourselves to be absent in the moment, we are missing out. Thinking mindless thoughts and doing mindless things take our consciousness away from the present. We are here, but we're not really here. And whatever's unfolding right in front of us, it's whizzing past us, unnoticed. Mindless living is a lot like sleepwalking. We're seemingly up and moving, but we're not really aware of what's happening. We might as well climb back into bed. Today, as we repeatedly return our straying thoughts and behaviors to the now, let's notice all the little gifts, lessons, and delights we encounter. The more aware we become, the more tiny miracles we experience. Now think to yourself, only when my consciousness is totally focused on the moment I am in, can I receive whatever gift, lesson, or delight that moment has to offer. Slowly become aware of the room where you are. Become aware of your body. If you would like to lie down a bit longer, please do. You can pause the video. Otherwise, move your fingers and your toes and pretend you're waking up in your bed, stretching out your arms and your legs. Then bring your knees to your chest and roll onto one side of your body. Stay there for a moment and slowly roll up. Push yourself up. Come and sit with your hands in front of your heart. Close your eyes one more time. First, think of your intention you set at the beginning of the class. Did you succeed? And then think about the story about being mindful. Otherwise, you might miss some lesson or gift or blessing coming your way. So let's now set an intention together to be more mindful for the rest of the day, being present in the moment. And then bow forward. And slowly come up. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the class. Have a great rest of your day and see you next time.